In this video, we're going to evaluate the integral of x to the third over the square root of 4 plus x squared. So let's see what we have here in terms of options. Now, if this was just a plain old x here, or a factor of x in a constant like 3x or something like that, since the derivative of the radicand here is 2x, a standard u substitution would work, but that's not the case. You got the square root of a sum of two squares here. You could probably use, I'm pretty sure you could use a trig substitution using the tangent function. Now what I'm going to try here is integration by parts. So I'm going to break this up into x squared and x. So I got the x dx right there. And I'm going to let u equal to x squared. So du would equal to 2x dx. And then my dv would equal to x over the square root of 4 plus x squared. This would be dx here. Remember, the formula for integration by parts takes the form integral of u dv will equal to the product of u and v minus the integral of v du. You pick your u over here, I picked it as x squared, that's the one you differentiate, and then you pick dv as something, or dv equal to something you can integrate. So if I break it up this way, for this one here, got the square root of 4 plus x squared, and like I mentioned earlier, the derivative of 4 plus x squared is 2x, so this will work here. I gotta find v here though. So I could do a separate substitution using the variable t if you want. And notice again the derivative of this would be 2x. We only have an x, so we'd have a half out here in front. And then integrate, and this is gonna come out to integral of, the square root of 4 plus x squared. Because notice if I take the derivative of the square root of 4 plus x squared, the 1/2 comes out in front, and the derivative of 4 plus x squared using the chain rule is 2x, and the 1/2 cancels the 2, leaves me with an x. And then subtracting 1 from the exponent, 1/2 gives me a negative 1/2. Take it to the denominator, I got the square root of 4 plus x squared. So this checks out. Again, you can double check this by letting t, pick another variable since we already used u. Pick t, let equal to 4 plus x squared, and then proceed with a standard, in this case, t substitution. And then we set up the problem here then. U and v is the first part of the answer, so we multiply those, and we get x squared. And v is the square root 4 plus x squared. So that's the first part of the answer, u times v. And then from the formula, it's minus the integral of v, and v is the square root of 4 plus x squared. And then it's du, and du is over here. So that's multiplied by 2x dx. And then again, you'd have to integrate here, and unless you can do it in your head, not that hard, just like this one over here. Let's go ahead and do this one, and let t equal to 4 plus x squared. Then dt is equal to 2x dx. Divide by 2, this cancels out, and I get dt over 2. So again, focus on this here. And then the integral of that then will be 4 plus x squared, that's your u, or t in this case. And that's to the 1/2. And the tx, or the x dx rather, is replaced by dt over 2. So that's going to cancel this 1/2 here and give me a dt. Integrate this, add 1 to the 1/2, we get 3/2. Divide the coefficient by 3/2, we get 2/3. So let's fill it in here. X squared times the square root of 4 plus x squared. That's the first part of the answer. And then this integral here will be a minus then. 2/3 t to the 3/2. But remember, t is 4 plus x squared. This would be 4 plus x squared to the 3/2 power. And we have constant of integration. And this is pretty much your answer. Sometimes you'll see this simplified, so let's go ahead and simplify this. I'm going to take out a factor here. Got a square root of 4 plus x squared and 4 plus x squared to the 3/2 power. So I'm going to take out the radical, square root of 4 plus x squared. Got the constant of integration over here. So this is going to leave me, when I factor out the square root here, that'll leave me with an x squared out in front here. And on this one, I'll be left with a minus 2/3. So this is going to leave me 4 plus x squared to the first power. This would be 4 plus x squared. Remember, this was factored out here, the square root of 4 plus x squared. So we got then x squared, and then a minus 2/3 x squared. That's going to give me a minus 1/3 x squared. And then minus 2/3 times 4 is a minus 8/3 here. And again, times the square root of 4 plus x squared. plus the constant of integration. Now I could factor out a 1/3 here in front here, and in the parentheses I would have a minus x squared. This would be a plus here though. So it's 1/3 x squared minus 8/3. But like I said, I could factor out a 1/3 here and make that coefficient in front 1/3 and then x squared minus 8. So you can rewrite this part as 1/3 times parentheses x squared minus 8 times the radical here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.